It's the 1970s, Christmas Day. You wake up in the morning dead excited to go downstairs, and you can't wait to unwrap all those new toys that you got for Christmas. And among those toys you have... I don't know any toys from the 70s. Screw it, we're speaking hypothetically anyway. A copy of Crash Twinsanity on the PS2. The new Action Man that comes with a shark that you put on your hand and you become the shark. And maybe, if you're lucky, the greatest gift on God's green earth that you've been yearning for so long now. The Pet Rock. Have you guys ever heard of the Pet Rock? Some of you probably have. It's still a thing now. It's not as popular. So yeah, back in the 1970s, some Donny was sat outside touching grass for the first time, and he looked at a rock and went, do people know about this? Has anyone ever heard of this? Has anyone ever seen this? You just wait and I will show you what I'm gonna do with this. It was a rock he was talking about, and he thought to himself, people need to see this. People need to have one of these. I can help them with that. So he decided to sell them. He put them on the market at an honest $3.95, which in today's economy equates to $22, I'm pretty sure. And it popped off. Everybody wanted a pet rock. Everybody had a pet rock. The news was talking about pet rocks. Every supermarket, every toy store, everyone needed a pet rock on their shelves for the kids. Because as everybody knows, if you were to go into your back garden now, pick up a rock off of the grass and take it into your home, you would get absolutely fucking obliterated by the sniper on your neighbour's roof. I'm just going to assume that's what things were like in the 70s, because nobody just thought of going outside and grabbing a rock and putting it in the house. They bought one. Like, it came with a box in it. They bought one. So let's dig into this. What happened? How did it pop off? Why did it flop off? And did it really knock people's socks off? The answer is not really. It just became a bit of a trend. Everybody loved it. It was like, oh my god, that's so quirky, that's so funny, and everybody got it. The idea was, what if you had a pet that you didn't need to look after, you didn't have to clean up after, and it doubles up as a grenade when you want to throw it at your sister's head? That's right, it's the placebo effect of thinking you have some responsibility, but in reality having no responsibility at all. The only thing you need to make sure of with the pet rock is that it doesn't fall off a cabinet and onto someone's foot, or on the hamster, because that would be a dreadful sight. So come on, Luke, hurry up. How did the pet rock come to be? I'll read it off of Wikipedia for you and then we'll dwell into it a little bit more. Gary Dahl came up with the idea in a bar while listening to his friends complain about their pets. This gave him the idea for the perfect pet, a rock. It's not just a boulder. It's a rock. A rock would not need to be fed, walked, bathed or groomed, and it would not die, become sick or be disobedient. The rock will outlive you. So there you go, it started literally as a joke. And he went, you know what, screw this, I want to make money. And he did. I've got one too. The difference is I got mine from outside and avoided the sniper, don't worry. So I don't know what's worse, the thought of someone going into a shop and buying a rock, or the thought of me standing outside with all my neighbours' windows looking at me, and me just kind of scavenging through the grass and the rocks trying to figure out which one was the perfect one to bring indoors. I chose this one because it's got a bit of black on it and it's Black History Month. I'm chuffed with that, I'm not gonna lie. So there you go, I have a rock too now. How much did it cost me? Not $3.95, not $22. It cost me about 30 seconds of my time. Now I have a pet for life. Who needs kids? Get yourself a rock. So yeah, this Gary Donny went through with it. He turned it into reality. What have I done? I forgot I still had that open from my last video. There's a news footage advert thing from 1975 and I wanted to see what the ad actually looked like. Oh, for fuck's sake, that's in my head now. Don't play, wait. Wait.
Francisco tourist attractions is the former federal penitentiary Alcatraz, or as the inmates referred to it, The Rock. The Rock was also popular in the 70s, not as a prison, but as a pet. That's right, the Pet Rock.
What kind of segue was that? How did you go from Alcatraz to Pet Rock? I did actually look to see if I could buy one of these. However, I couldn't seem to find like an original one that didn't cost me a shit ton of money. So I decided against it. I wasn't gonna go with like a crappy knockoff one because it didn't make much sense to me. Like the point of the video is Pet Rock, not fake Pet Rock. If I was gonna look at crappy knockoffs of Pet Rock, I would have made a whole video about it. But instead, I mean, I haven't completely disappointed, have I? I've got one, but I'd stick around because I've not just got a pet rock.
Going to do what the book says, take it home and give it a lot of love and make a nice place for it in the kitchen.
This proves to me that hippies were around in the 70s because there's no other way that I would believe that people treated the pet rock as an actual pet, unless they were high on something. Look at the little box for it. bro, the 70s is different gravy. Everyone's just so chill. They're so chill that they're going out to buy pet rocks. Nowadays, Americans can't even buy pop rocks. Sorry, America. I think this is what the original looked like, which looks incredible, by the way. That box is amazing. It makes me think there's just magic inside of it, which in this case there is, because you get a new pet. It's got air holes and everything, so the rock doesn't suffocate naturally. Okay, I take the piss, but I'm not an animal. And this was the fella that made it all happen. Also, side note, I've already spoken about the pet rock on a previous video, where I essentially spoke about just the most bizarre toys overall. So there's a lot more toys on there. If you want to go and check that one out, it's there. I'll leave it below and on the end screen as well. There you go. Someone is actually making and selling these on Etsy now. It also came with a training manual, as you may have heard before from the woman in the ad. The Pet Rock training manual, officially called The Care and Training of Your Pet Rock, was written by Gary Dole himself and was a huge part of why the pet rock became a phenomenon. It was filled with deadpan humor and tongue-in-cheek instructions, treating the rock like a real pet while making fun of traditional pet care guides. Some of the highlights in the manual were owners were encouraged to let their rock get acclimated to its new surroundings before attempting to train it. Suggested keeping it in its cardboard carrier, which had air holes to ensure it didn't get stressed out. The last thing you want is a stressed out rock. Imagine your rock has a panic attack. The manual hilariously outlined basic obedience training, with detailed steps that made it sound like an actual skill. Sit. Place your pet rock on the floor. Congratulations, it is now sitting. Stay. Do nothing, your rock will stay. Good job. Come, call your rock. It will not come. Roll over. Attempting to roll over your rock may require gentle assistance, aka manually rolling it. I need to see if mine rolls over. Roll. Maybe it's Italian. Rotola. Please. Nope, I tried, it didn't work. Play dead, your rock is an expert at this command and has likely been practicing for millions of years. That's good of you, isn't it? I did wash this, by the way, before bringing it in. Believe it or not, I was standing over the sink washing a rock. Housebreaking, no effort required, your pet rock is already perfectly trained and will never have an accident indoors. Isn't that good? You better not be hiding any bugs in any crevices or whatever. Fetch, throw your rock, now go get it yourself. That doesn't sound very fun at all. I'm still gonna give it a go. Attack training. If someone tries to rob you, simply throw your pet rock at them for self-defense. Just don't miss, because if not, you've lost your wallet and your pet rock. Bathing. Just rinse with water if it gets dirty. Or don't, your rock won't care. You don't care, do you? You were just sat outside in the mud and the rain and whatever else is out there. The squirrels. I don't know what liquids or solids have touched you before. Feeding. Pet rocks require no food but may enjoy occasional praise. Good job. Pet rocks were literally free to collect, but Gary sold 1.5 million of them in 6 months. So the pet rock exploded based on just how ridiculous it was at the time. And people wouldn't just buy them for kids, they'd buy them as gag gifts, office jokes, and even stocking stuffers, which sounds like a weapon of mass destruction if you ask me. Even decades later, the pet rock still gets referenced in pop culture, like in cartoons and internet memes. Such as, character Zoe from Sesame Street owns a pet rock called Rocco. A video of Elmo from Sesame Street shouting at Rocco went viral in early 2022. That's disgusting. In early 2022. That's better. In the film Minions: The Rise of Gru, the character Otto acquires a pet rock. He trades the Zodiac Stone for it, an integral point of the plot. To promote the film, Sabec Limited released an official pet rock video game for Nintendo Switch. A Funko Pop depicting Otto with his pet rock was also released. This is more viral than I thought. Why am I making this video? I thought it was like an obscure thing that's now flown under the radar that not everyone knows about anymore. But no, this fucking pet rock is everywhere still. What the fuck was that? The video game Magic the Gathering Arena features a pet rock named Dwayne. Of course it does. And the MMORPG World of Warcraft, let's go, that's my boy. Pet rocks are obtainable items with no purpose. Why do I learn so much about World of Warcraft every time I make a video? I play the game on the daily and I just don't know these things. Sinbad. Sinbad the Rock. Type, collectible toy. Inventor, Gary Dole. Country, United States. Availability, 1975 onwards. Materials, rock. But what happened to the rock after that? Well, like all fads, it burned bright and then died fast. By 1976, sales plummeted. Turns out people eventually realised they bought a literal rock. And Gary moved on to other ventures, never quite replicating Pet Rock's success. But I don't actually know what he did, so I'm going to go and look at that now. From the proceeds of his pets in 1977, Dahl opened a bar in Los Gatos, California, which he jokingly named Carination's Saloon. Oh, she was against alcohol, that's why it's so funny. He attempted to follow up his Pet Rock success by selling sand breeding kits and red china dirt. These novelties failed to attract as much interest as the Pet Rock. And then he did a bunch of other things, which looks boring. The legacy of the Pet Rock is still remembered today as one of the best marketing stunts ever. And it's proof that with the right gimmick, people will buy anything. Which brings us to my idea. The Pet Brick. It's very similar to the Pet Rock, but bigger. Why would this ever sell if it's bigger than the Pet Rock? Well, first of all, even Phineas and Ferb have one.
It's fun.
Now who would buy a brick for a toy?
Second of all, have you seen the turn that smartphones are taking recently? They've gone from massive to small and now back to big again. I think it's a no-brainer. You guys need yourselves a Pet Brick. I wash the brick as well. Anyway, I am going to go and cry in a corner now because this is what I've decided to record today. I can't believe I've sat here and spoken about a Pet Rock for as long as we have. And if this doesn't prove that marketing is everything, I don't know what does. So next time you guys might have a dumb idea, remember, if there's a guy that can sell literal rocks, maybe the idea isn't as crazy as it sounds. And on that note, if you did enjoy this video, you're not going to want to miss the next one. It's a very similar theme, but with a very different product. If you guys remember the Pet Rock, you had a Pet Rock, or whatever, let me know in the comments below, because I'd love to hear if you guys have any bizarre stories about the Pet Rock. Look after yourselves, and I love you all. Take care. Oh, I touched the rock.